isn't clipped, so we hear everything. Other than that, the only rule is we must be having fun. Must be having fun. Okay. So we are using NetLogger tonight, as ever. You can listen. You can watch. You can even check in. MX0WNN continuing. So tonight, folks, I thought we'd talk about something a little bit different. So we've all come along to take part in the net. But what makes you take part in a net? What is it that interests you? Why do you think I'm going to take part in a net rather than say, hello, Doug, good evening? Rather than simply saying, well, I'm going to go and play FT8, or I'm going to go and call CQ on 40 meters, or I'm going to shout through my local repeater, or whatever it may be. What is it that brings you to a net? There could be many, many different things. It could be the topic. It could be you want to talk to your friends. It could be somebody's told you about it and you've never been on net before. We want to hear what it is. But is there something that really excites you as to being on a net? Or is there anything that we could do better? You know, we want our nets to be as successful as possible. So, if there's any handy pointers that we can try and implement, then, let's see what it is. Right, okay, we are using NetLogger. I would like to thank all the other networks, repeaters, gateways, etc. that do link up. I'll go through a list of them part way through. And folks, this is a directed net. And it is a bit of a rag chew net. We usually have 2 or 3 overs with each people person and then move down. So folks, if you are near the end of a list, don't worry, we will get to you. We will get to you. But sit tight and hopefully listen and enjoy it. And if you are short time, please say short time when checking in and we'll try and bump you up the queue. Okay, so we do need some people to be on the list. Please come with your name, call sign and location, preferably slowly, phonetically and twice. It's been a long day at work here for me, so the brain is weary. So yeah, nice and slow, folks. And please do leave those all-important pauses in between. It really does help. Okay, please come now. This is MX0WNN looking for check-ins.
November Alpha Bravo, please, Northumberland. Golf 7, Oscar Charlie Kilo, Golf 7, Oscar Charlie Kilo, Brian in the land of the Prince Bishops.
Doug in Kitchener, Ontario.
Okay, MX0WNN returning. Right, that was a bit fun, folks. Right, first on the queue, but I got Alpha Bravo at the end. Let's put it that way. A station from Northumberland. You're not a million miles away from me then, because I'm in Northumberland. Go again with the call. The station that's ending Alpha Bravo, please.
Yes, okay, good evening to you. This is Golf number 4, November, Alpha Bravo. Name is Chris. Town of Ashington, and manager of the SVX Link Network. G5AB.
Okay, right, got it there. Right, G4NAB. Yeah, right, got you there, Chris. I thought it was that call, but I wasn't sure. I just heard the end. Right, I'll tell you who we've got. In reverse order, so far we have VE3XDB. That's Doug out there in Kitchener. Good evening, Doug. You were having, as Graham had said, a little tussle in the corridor with Brian, but Brian just picked you to the post. In second place is Brian, that's G7OCK up there in Crook. And first on the list is G4NAB, which is Chris in Ashington. I shall ask, is there anybody else out there that would like to check in for the first round, or that I may be missed? If so, don't be shy, please come now. Okay, nobody heard, in which case we're going to go straight up there to Ashington. Chris, how are you doing, sir? Hope you're well. In charge of the SVX Link network. Now, I'm hearing lots of good things. I know we've got a link through people and one thing or other. It's all new to me, so thank you for everything that you do. I do genuinely appreciate it. It's just caught me at the wrong time, shall we say, in terms of I've just been super busy. So, Right, without further waffling, I shall go across to you. Hello, my name is Bruce. As I say, normally M0UKB, but for the Wednesday night net, we use the club called the MX0WNN call. So I'm in Allendale, Northumberland. Chris, over to you. What brings you to the net? What do you enjoy about nets, etc.? All that good stuff. And also, how are you doing, sir? G4NAB from MX0WNN. G4NAB, are you there? G4NAB from MX0WNN.
There I was. Yes, I was there, but something happened. You obviously didn't receive me. I got walked on or something like that. Name is Chris, say location Ashington. I'm running a micro repeater, which I've completed in the last 48 hours. Manager of the SVX Link project in the UK, teamed up with the guys of the Yorkshirenet, and through one of their talk groups, which we are conversing at the moment. Back to you, Bruce. G4NAB.
G4NAB from MX0WNN. Yeah, no problem at all. And the Yorkshire Net guys are very, very good, and I think they are connected. Yes, they are connected. Yeah, I know they do connect on a Wednesday night. I had a good band of Yorkshire folk on last week, and being a Yorkshireman myself, that's always welcome by me. But all nationalities, etc., are more than welcome. I must put that. Yes, one of the good things about this net is you have to have a sense of humour and have a good amount of fun. Anybody deemed not to be having fun will be ceremoniously struck off, in inverted commas, we say, with tongue in cheek. Now, we do love a good bit of experimentation on the Extended Freedom Network. So your little micro repeater, that got me. I have to admit, one of the things I enjoy about nets is hearing about other people's projects and bits and pieces of their work. So go on. Right, the stage is all yours. Chris, tell us a bit more about this micro repeater. I know there's somebody lurking up in Scotland that might be interested in this as well. So over to you then again, Chris. You go for it.
Okay, I have to wait for a K on my repeater. There you go. Okay, the project is actually something devised by Foxtrot 8 Alpha Sierra Bravo, Juan Hagen, who lives just south of Paris. He designed initially a hotspot for Simplex use, and then since doubled up on it and produced two SA818 cards, and a very nice, and probably more expensive than you can possibly imagine, USB sound card converter. And the whole thing is then running with the Raspberry Pi Zero, would you believe? But that's just one of my projects. I've also got a Simplex node and a full repeater here as well, and the DMR repeater, but that's beside the by. The SVX Link project, if anybody subscribes to Radcom, coming out in February, will be an article about the project. And basically, this little micro repeater is going to perform mobile service, hopefully, in the near future. That's it. anybody who hasn't got Facebook miss out on the SVX Link project, SVX Link page, and read all about it, and a number of other projects going on at the same time. Just a little bit of information. I'll throw a whole loaf of bread at everybody. If anybody asks questions, I'd be pleased to answer. Thank you, Bruce. G4NA.
G4NAB from MX0WNN. Now that sounds fun. That really does sound fun, does the... Now I'm assuming this micro repeater is connected via an SVX link. Given your background in the project, I'm assuming that it is. But now I could be totally off beam there. So yeah, go on. Tell us all a little bit more. I like the whole loaf of bread. Or certainly a moderate family-sized loaf, let's put it that way, because the Wednesday Night Net, just for your edification, started off, it's deemed as your weekly trip to the on-air radio club. Started during COVID when we obviously couldn't go to radio clubs, and we thought we wanted to have a natter about the sort of stuff that you do down the radio club. So the idea was we sort of had a, quote, topic, in inverted commas, very loosely. It's not the full amateur radio license syllabus, for example, about something loosely radio related. We've done all sorts of different things in the past, so hence what you started off talking about certainly got my ears twitching. Back over to you there, G4NAB from MX0WNN.
Yes, okay, Bruce, G4NAB. I'm glad you mentioned the online amateur radio club. I wrote the article that's currently there in the file system for SVX Link, although it could do with updating because I have since constructed an image, which, although is an image, does require a little bit of runtime to incorporate all the features, call sign, and abilities of a node, whether it's simplex or a repeater. And it's also constructible in 4 different languages. I say 4, it's US, American, Spanish and French. So anybody who's listening can achieve either of those methods through the menu. What else can I tell you about it? If anybody's got a pen to hand, portal.svxlink.uk:81, and you can see the activity there at the moment, which there are currently 34 nodes online on this particular reflector, with a further 15 or so on the Yorkshire net. And it's increasing every day. Hopefully we'll have a few more on by the end of the week. I've heard a number of people who are committed to building something of some similar design to hook up with it. And so the image is available either through my GitHub or portal.com. I'll have to specify this, https://portal.svxlink.uk:8443 will take you to another version of the dashboard and also the download facility for the image. So that could shorten people's lifespans, I think. Certainly a download of the image for only Raspberry Pi, minimum of 8 gigabyte SD card, and a modified sound card. There's also going to be a link somewhere for a beautiful little USB card by 2E0JJI, and that is quite reasonably priced. With it just simply connects to a radio, and the Raspberry Pi will drive the radio with SVX Link. No other device required. Anyway, that's as brief as I can make it, really. G4NAB.
G4NAB from NX0WNN. No problem there, Chris. Well, please don't go anywhere. I know there is somebody lurking in the background who I'm actually going to check in by proxy, because I know he probably wants to have a yak, because he just messaged me saying, guess what I'm just downloading? Now, some of the regulars to the net will know who I'm talking about or have guessed. But Chris, I'm sure he's going to have some questions for you. So yeah, hopefully he will, and hopefully you'll be able to hang around. I'll tell you what, put it quickly back to you. Are you able to hang around for it? Because I'm pretty sure there'll be a few people that want to have a natter. Back to you, Chris, quickly.
Fine, AB, yes, of course I will. Looking at the state of my battery and my radio, it shouldn't be a problem. Fine.
Okay, in which case, Chris, I'll let you hang around. I have checked in our mystery caller, who shall stay a mystery for the moment. Let's see if anybody can guess who it is. Right, get those SVX link questions thought of, folks. Interesting development tonight. I'm quite pleased by this. I like this one. Chris, by the way, this net often does go quite sideways, as they say, in terms of things crop up and we absolutely do not mind at all. We can go around the houses and it doesn't bother me one little bit, which is half the fun of it, if you know what I mean. Right, okay, we shall temporarily break with Chris, and we shall stay in the northeast, and we're going to G7OCT, which is our Brian down there in Crook. Good evening, Brian. So, well, a couple of things. Firstly, how you doing? Secondly, what brings you to a net, and what you like, etc., and one thing or another. And also, well, we've got him. Let's use him in inverted commas. Are there any SVX link questions you want to ask Chris? So, G7OCK, over to you, sir.
Well, good evening, Bruce, and everybody else that's on the net. Right, I'm going to throw some in the works here. Go down to Doug, miss me out, bring the mystery guest in while I have a bit think. How's that? Go 7 Oscar Charlie Kilo, and yes, I do know who the mystery guest is.
Okay, no problem then, Brian. I shall do that. I'll let you have some thinking time. Doug had a bit of more thinking time, which is why I'm waffling a bit in case Doug needs any more, so I'll waffle for a second. And yes, the mystery guest is logged in and downloading as we speak, I think, possibly. Right, Doug, that's VE3XDB. I hope you're doing well. I understand there is a bit of white stuff over your neck of the woods because I've spoken to some customers over your way. And I might be back out again. Seems to be a hotbed activity for my line of work over your way, Doug. Can't grumble. And I hope everything's well with you and Leslie. And yeah, okay. Hopefully I've waffled long enough, Doug. Enough time to think. So same question as the gave to Brian. What brings you to a net? What do you like about a net? I know you run a fair number of nets. And any questions about SVX Link as well tonight? So VE3XDB from NX0WNN.
Mike X-Ray 0 WNN from Victor Echo 3 X-Ray Delta Bravo. Good evening, Bruce. Nice to hear you. It's been a little while. And next time you're here, call and maybe we'll be able to get together again. So why take part in a net? I had 3 or 4 things jotted down as you were introducing the topic. The first is I like to make friends over the net and over the radio, and by participating in nets, you get to know people a little bit better, which is great. Number 2, they're orderly events. So unlike a contest or something like that, it's controlled and easy to participate. Third thing is you actually make a contact on a on a net. But I think the most important thing for me is I like to learn from others. I like to listen more than speak. And I like to ask questions about, about the other situation. I like to learn about geography, about lifestyle, about projects that people are working on. So a net is a great place to do all of that. I'll drop for just a moment. So you may know that I'm back on the radio. I'm back on HF, which is great, and I'm enjoying that very much. I've been spending quite a bit of time on CW lately, and yes, the weather is a bit cooler, and we do have some snow. And right after the net, I'll be going outside and shoveling up a bit. And Leslie says hello, and she said next time you're here, you should come all the way out here, and we can go for dinner, or you can come here for dinner. And that's all for me for now. So back to you, Bruce, from VE3XDB.
VE3XDB from MX0WN. Right, okay, plenty to answer then. Well, good news for you and Leslie. One of my next trips is actually going to be to Cambridge. So, and I know, I've done my research, it ain't far away from you there, Doug. So, yeah, I do have a trip to Cambridge planned. That's coming up. So, definitely pop in. Now, you hit on something that rings true with me. I like listening and hearing about what others have got to say, or what they've done, etc. It's quite often, sometimes, some of the nets are a little bit late or quite busy. I'm thinking Graham's net often, if you're not in on the first round, it can get a little bit tricky, should we say? But I often like sitting there. Maybe just put the earbuds in or whatever, and you can just sort of you can listen along even if you don't check in, if that makes sense. It's often good entertainment and education as well. So yeah, I like that one as well. It's certainly more organised than a contest, and I'm not knocking contests at all, but I know what you mean. Yeah, the good old HF or whatever pile-up can be a bit interesting, shall we say, picking your way through it. A net can certainly be a little bit more orderly, shall we say, and I suppose you can also dip in and dip out. But right, Doug, pass it back round to you, VE3XDB from MX0WNN.
Oh, very good, Bruce. Well, let us know when you're in town. Yeah, Cambridge is just across the road here, so it is very close by. So, yeah, we'd love to see you. And I will be listening for a little while, but I should go shut down here and go outside and shovel up the snow for a bit before it gets dark. Anyway, all the best, Bruce. And hello to everyone else on the net this afternoon. Mike X-Ray 0, Whiskey November from Victor Echo 3 X-Ray Delta Bravo. Bye for now.
MX0WNN return. Yeah, no problem at all there, Doug. Well, happy snow shoveling. And yeah, I hope that we can provide you an excuse to stay inside a little bit longer while you listen to the net and get a good education, in inverted commas. That will, see, it allows you to put it off there, Doug, for just a touch longer. Right, no problem at all. Right, where on the blue screen, people have asked for a link for the SVX stuff that Chris mentioned before. What I'll probably do is, I wasn't fast enough to type while I was running the net, so we'll probably get those in a second, and I'll get them down, don't worry. Right, we're going to come to the mystery caller, in inverted commas, for those that haven't worked out what it is. So I'll say 7-3 to Doug, temporarily, and we're going to go north of the border, we've got to Gareth, that's G0WUR. Good evening, Gareth. As soon as I heard Chris talking about SVX Link, I immediately thought of you, let's put it that way. And yeah, I'm pretty sure, Chris, that our Gareth, he likes to experiment. We have a Gareth. It's like, you know, you have somebody that does stuff, and we have a Gareth. And yeah, So I'm pretty sure, Chris, you're going to get called back in at this stage. But Gareth, go on, G0WR. Hope you're doing well. And firstly, what brings you to a net before you start asking about XVX link? Right, Gareth, G0WR from MX0WNN.
Good evening, Bruce. I'm at 0WNN from G0WUR. What brings me to the net? It's a really nice opportunity just to catch up with people. Quite often the case is meeting new people, as it were, but also being able to sort of interchange ideas and see what different thoughts and what interests different people with certain aspects of our hobby, because let's face it, as we've said many a time, it's the hobby of 1,000 hobbies. So it is many and varied. It's really good fun. So that's what draws me to a net. And tonight, well, I'm kind of spoiled. There's been a word of new and interesting developments and different witty things I can go and play with this hobby. With Chris and all what's happening with the SVX link. That has really piqued my interest, and yes, I'm actually currently reading through some of his GitHub repos, and we'll be looking forward to downloading different bits and pieces. There we go. I'll just turn my audio up slightly. Thank you, Brian, for letting me know that it was a bit on the quiet side. Hopefully that's going to improve it. So I look forward to having a play with that, especially since I've got the, what do we call it now? Just get the right terminology. I think it's called a USBX card, which I've had since the very, very early stages when I first started having a play with all of this Simplex Gateway malarkey, because the very first prototype for MB7 ISC was actually from G0WUR. Sorry about that. Just hit my own timeout. Oops. Yes, the USVX card that I have was used for the prototype version of what actually became MB7 ISC All-Star node. It was the first thing. I can't remember the name of the software that I played about with. I know it was sort of based in and around the SVX link technologies. I just can't remember the exact flavour of it, as it were. But ever since building the gateway into an all-star configuration, I've had this USVX card ever since back and forth, not doing anything. So it's a perfect opportunity. And since I've currently got a few radios lying around on the desk as well, we'll fire everything up and see what happens with it. Right, back to you, Bruce. Hopefully I've not been too quiet. From G0WUR.
G0WR from M0UKB. Your audio's come up a little bit in volume, Gareth. It sounds like you've got a scarf over your mouth, though, if that makes sense, for want of a better description. So I don't know what radio you're using, or device, but yeah, it sounds a touch muffled, for want of a better description. But we can hear you, don't worry, we can hear you. Right, yeah, I know you're playing with new Whizzy gadgets, and SVX link. Yeah, it does sound interesting. I'm looking at an all-star micro node that doesn't get a lot of use in my shack, and thinking, maybe I can do something with that. So okay, and I know I've got a Gareth who is always good for projects and doing interesting things. So maybe we can give it more life. But first, Gareth, go on, back round to you, and what else have you got to comment on, or any questions for Chris? G0WR from MX0WNN. Yeah, MX0WNN from G0WUR.
Right, okay, yeah, Chris. It also helps the fact that I quite enjoy soldering, doesn't it? Which I know is one of the elements you're not so keen on in the hobby. Anyway, for Chris, I would just like to say, well, first of all, thank you for the work you're putting into this and bringing everyone's attention to the SVX link. It's lovely when there's something different we can have a go with, especially since we've been able to get it all interconnected as well, with the SVS link also feeding into Extended Freedom Network. So that's lovely. It's all more places we can play with. Chris, I will just ask you this. If I hope you don't mind, but I'm going to drop you an email later on. I'm assuming your details will be on QRZ. Although I get to double check it. I was going to drop you an email later on and see if I can get the various links from you and sort of maybe a bit more information about what you're doing with the project, and especially this micro repeater. You've really piqued my interest, that one. And the reason being is because I'd actually like to put a sort of should we call it a links/projects that excite us type page on the Extended Freedom Network's main website. And I'd like to put the stuff about the SVX Link project actually as one of the featured things on that page. So there we go. That's what I'm looking forward to doing next. From G0, you are back to Bruce as Net Control, first of all.
Yeah, MX0WN. Return, yeah, no problem at all. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm not holding. I'm going to pass it straight across to Chris, who can answer that. G4NAB from MX0WN. I'll let you take it, Chris, and then just pass it straight to Gareth. Bypass me for a minute.
Okay, Bruce, G4NAB. And good evening, Gareth. It's Sterling. I'd be happy to accept email from you. I am QTHR. Incidentally, my homepage, g4nab.co.uk, contains a lot more information than I can possibly give on the air. Although I still to update the information relating to the portal registration, which is also available on the link. But I'll try to say it now. Bruce, if you can be prepared with a piece of paper and a pencil. It's https://portal.svxlink.uk:8443 will take you to a pseudo dashboard, and also information relating to registration on the portal once you've got your link going, and the download for the SVX link image. And that will work on any Raspberry Pi. It also creates a Wi-Fi hotspot if you require accessing it, and then you change to your own Wi-Fi once you've connected with your phone or whatever other device you're going to be using. So it's quite capable of doing that. Although there are some settings that aren't set up correctly yet, it will do everything that it's supposed to do. So that's, I think I've answered the question so far. But, Gareth, confirm G4NAB.
Yeah, G4NAB from G0WUR. Chris, you have very much answered the questions. Thank you very much. And I'm looking at your website at the moment. I like it. That's a nice website, full of lots of interesting information. And I see you're a flight simulator man as well. That might be another whole topic of conversation. I do love a flight sim myself. Fantastic, Chris. Do you know what? In fact, I'm going to. I think I'll probably put the link on XFN and send people straight to your really good website there, because you've certainly got a wealth of information that's going to keep you busy and in reading material for a while. So that's fantastic. And yeah, I'll drop you an email as well, so I can touch base with you and ask any questions I'm up with, or when no doubt at some point I get stuck with something, or I end up breaking something. I know who to ask. Thank you very much, Chris. Much appreciated. Bruce, back to you, MX0WNN.
MX0WN returning with a slight pause because I was busy also perusing Chris's excellent website, and I noticed that he briefly lived in Dumfries. Well, I spent time living in Dumfries, and my folks still live there, and I have a repeater there as well there, Chris, so there you go. Lots of bits and pieces in common. So, yeah. Right, that's excellent. I'll put your link in the chat on the blue screen as well, so those that are following along via NetLogger, you can click on it and have a look and everything and hear what we're all on about. This is sounding very, very interesting. Right, okay. We are at the bottom of the list, so I shall just say, if anybody else is out there that wants to join in, feel free. We're talking about a few things tonight. What brings you to a net? What entices you in? What makes you, be partial to contributing or even just listening? Also, how are people doing as general? And also, we're happy to be talking a bit about SVX links tonight because of a chance check-in by Chris, who has a lot to do with it, shall we say. So, yeah, there we go. So if that hasn't whet your appetite, goodness knows what will. But let's say, right, here goes. If there's anybody who'd like to check in, please come now with your name, call sign, or location. This is MX0WN, looking for check-ins.
Hi, this is Simon on M7TSS. Can anybody hear me? M7BVM, I confirm I can hear you.
Okay, this is Net Control. I got M7 TSS, and there was another M7 station. So the second M7 station, please come now. Okay, nothing heard. Hopefully we'll come back after this. M7TSS, Tango Sierra Sierra, I believe it is. Yeah, good evening. Yeah, tell us a bit more about yourself, and yeah, you're making it through, no problem at all. This is Bruce. Normal call is M0UKB, but for the duration of the net, we use the club call of MX0WNN, and the net is the Wednesday night net, so you can probably guess why the call sign. M7TSS, over to you, sir.
Well, actually broadcast. I got my license mid-December, and I'm slowly working out how to use it. And I'm quite pleased that I've managed to hit a local repeater and got in touch with some people. So yes, this is quite interesting.
Yeah, no problem. M7TSS, MX0WN. Yeah, no problem at all. Now, if I can give you one piece of helpful advice, when you key up, wait about a second, and then talk. Because often it cuts off, and it's not just you, it's anybody, it cuts off the front of your over as it, with the various sort of connections that all this lot goes through. Then just give it a second, if that makes sense, and we don't cut the front off. But yeah, so we're talking about what sort of entices you, what makes you key up and take part in a net. So I suppose prime question for you, if you've not been licensed long, what made you key up tonight as such? Did you see it on Facebook and think I'll have a go, or did you just hear people talking, or was it the topic of conversation that particularly brought you in? any of that sort of stuff. M7TSS from MX0WNN.
Was in hospital recently and talking to a very old gentleman about my problems with nerve damage in my neck and lower back. Can't really do a great deal. And they recommended ham radio, so I decided to take my test and passed. And the local repeater book suggested a nearby repeater station. So I keep feeding a few of them into my radio, and yeah, I've just listened into a few at various points, and finally plugged up the courage to actually say hi. So yes, that's me. Back to you.
Okay, M7TSS from MX0WN. Yeah, no problem at all. Sorry, I didn't catch the name, but maybe you should give that on the next go around. Well, as I say, we started this during COVID when we couldn't actually meet at the radio club, and I've not been licensed that long. It'll be 5 years in April. Time has sort of flown by a little bit, but same thing. Plucking up the courage to actually do it, and hearing people talking is fantastic. So yeah, pleased that you've come on tonight. We're here every Wednesday on this net, which is the very inventively called Wednesday Night Net. We couldn't really work out what to call it, so we let our imagination run riot. And yeah, we just have a natter. Different nets have different sort of styles and themes. But yeah, take part, key up, have some fun, and I hope you're enjoying it. Pass it across to you, M7TSS from MX0WNN.
Yes, I'll be listening in next Wednesday. About the clubs. I'm in South Shields, just outside Yukon. Otherwise, it's all going weird. I'm willing to earn as much as I can. Thanks very much. Back to you.
MX0WNN returning. Yeah, no problem. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. Yeah, by all means, be as active as you want. And yeah, as we sort of coin the phrase, it's the hobby of 1,000 hobbies. There is a lot to learn. Stroke, get involved in, stroke, have fun with, experiment, etc. You don't need to like all of it. You don't need to be a master at all of it or even any of it. As long as you're having fun. That's the key thing. And I have to admit, I've met a lot of really nice, friendly people all around the place, all around the world through amateur radio. So yeah, it's definitely a nice way to meet people, both physically and virtually, if that makes sense. Right, no problem. We'll break with you, M7TSS, and that does put us at the bottom of the list. Now, I know there was another M7 station out there. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. If you want to come back, please do. And also, if there's anybody else that would like to check in, no problem at all. Please come now. This is MX0WNN, looking for any more check-ins.
Okay, I know you don't want to talk to me. From Golf 7, Oscar Charlie Kilo. I can't take a hint, you know, Bruce.
This is MX0WNN. There was a little bit of QRM there. And I thought it was an M7 station, but no, it's not. It's a G7 station. It's Brian. Sorry, but you see, when I go all out of order and all out of sync, the brain goes berserk. And because Dennis isn't here to tell me off about mentioning the work word, I got totally confused. Sorry, Brian. My bad. My bad. You see, this leapfrogging thing causes chaos. Right, go on. Brian, G7OCK. It's over to you before I forget you anymore and get told off.
Yeah, Roger, bro. No problem at all, mate. I'll let you off this time. And I haven't noticed you've mentioned that word several times. I'll keep looking at the CD dashboard just in case you're connecting alternative via Echolink, but he hasn't up to now. So we're safe at the moment. Unless he comes some other way in, you never know with him. But yeah, And yeah, well, if I didn't connect into the nets and things like this, I wouldn't have been learning all about this new subject that we're trying and looking at. I've been wondering what to do with a couple of pies that I just acquired there the other day. So, oh well, something else to play with, something else for the back burner, and I need to get in touch with the man in Scotland at some point in time. I need to give him a phone call and see if we can sort something out. We've got a little problem on CD, but I'll talk to you direct. From Golf 7, Oscar Charlie Kilo.
G70CK from MX0WN. You see, we like to keep our War Gareth busy, actually, and I have to admit, I've got a few pies that are spare and bits and pieces, so yeah, looking for bits and pieces to do with them. And Gareth will mainly probably tonight be downloading bits of software and installing stuff. We know what you like, Gareth, and we know you like to play with stuff. And yeah, Chris has just excited him with the project by the sounds of it. So yeah, no problem at all. And yeah, I've not seen Dennis appearing on any of the usual usual dashboards. Sorry, I'm laughing, folks. Gareth has just sent me a message. Kid at Christmas. That's the only way I'm going to describe it. Yeah. So yeah. So for those that have just joined the net tonight. Yeah, the only thing around here is you will be summarily chucked out if you're not having fun. That's the only prerequisite of this net. Have fun, don't take life too seriously, and hopefully learn a little bit. Brian, I'm going to pass it back to you. G70CK from MX0WNN.
Yeah, roger on that, Bruce. No problem whatsoever, mate. We've got to have fun. If you can't have fun on the radio, it's time to pack up and go and do something else, isn't it? And we all like these new little projects to have a go at and try and sort out and pick the bugs out. And then when we get stuck, we phone for Gareth. But he has a tendency not to answer me at the moment. He's keeping on my way for some reason or other. I don't know what I've done wrong to him. I'm going to have to pop up to Stirling and sort him out, I think, one way or the other. But we'll get him, we'll catch him and get it sorted. Yeah, but why do we connect internet? Just for the sheer fun of it, I think. And that's all I can put it down to, and try and learn something. So it's the fun and learning. From Golf 7, Oscar Charlie Kilo.
MX0WN return, yes, the sheer fun of it. I have to admit, I do enjoy the fun of it. I like, I suppose it depends. You could go and sit down the pub or whatever, or you could go and do some other stuff, or we could just sit there and natter. And I just see somebody's joined online on the blue screen, and I usually try and make him laugh. I'm not going to name and shame him, but I'm sure he'll know who he is. He was here last week, and we were having some fun talking about motorcycles, etc. So I wonder if he's out motorcycle mobile with the wind in his hair, with the snow chains on, with the handheld out. So with that, yeah, okay, Brian, I'll break with you, and that does put us at the bottom of the list. So I'm going to ask. Is there any other station that wishes to join in, or stations? Don't be shy. Please come now. This is MX0WNN. Okay, MX0WNN might be having an early bat at this rate, but that might give Gareth time to play Chris with a whole load of questions. So I'm not sure how that pans out. Right, I'll put one last call out. Is there anybody else that would like to join us? Really, don't be shy. Come on down and enjoy the fun. I've only had one coffee, and I'm getting slightly giddy because I might have to have a second. MX0WNN is looking for any final check-ins, please.
Mike 0, Alpha Lima Lima. Mike 0, Alpha Lima Lima.
There's TM0, UUBs, Graham up here, Central Scotland. M7 VVM, Mike 76 Victor Mike, Andy. Let's go.
Okay, got a few stations there, and I missed a couple, certainly one. I believe I got Mike 7 Victor Mike. I got GM0 UUB, that's Graham. And I got the motorcycle riding, snow chain clad M0ALL Alex down there in Manchester. Now, was there another station that I missed in my list? I think there was. If so, please come now. Okay, yeah, net recognises 2E0 EVP, Martin, down there in Sheffield. Yep, got you there, Martin. Right, okay. I thought I heard somebody else out there. There was a bit of a collision. Maybe it was with Alex's snow chains, I'm not sure. Right, okay, so we are going to Alex next. Alex, have you got the wind in your hair? The snow's all melted, so no snow change required on the two-wheel crotch rocket. Have you been out portable with that handheld? There's the question for you. No, the main question tonight is all about what brings you to a net. Is it my amazing humour, Alex, or is it that you actually want to talk to Brian? I don't know. So, over to you, M0ALL from MX0 WNN.
MX0 WNN. M0ALL returning. Hi Bruce. I heard you taking a make. You saw me on the blue screen. Yes, you're right. This is Hell's Angel Alex returning. I'm the head of a motorcycle gang of one. That's me. Have I been out riding? No. Much too cold, much too icy, so the bike is undercover. Well, the bikes, I have three of them. They're undercover at the moment, waiting for fairer weather and safer weather. Oh, by the way, I heard you earlier. You were saying you were mocking your net name, Wednesday Night Net. And when you said it, I thought, well, why not call yourself MX0 Utterly Brilliant Fantastic Net? Oh, no, I'm sorry, you can't do that, can you? Because that's already reserved by GM0 UUB, Graham, on Friday nights. So, sorry about that, but that's Graham's net. Not much to report. I'll just take a pip. And what was I going to say? I admire one of the earlier callers. I didn't catch his Christian name. Mike 7 Tango Sierra M7 TSS. I admire him. Less than 1 month since he's passed his foundation, and he sounded very calm, very experienced already. I'll add to your advice. getting, he ought to get on to QRZ. It's such a useful program. I'm not sure if it is a program. I mean, I use it all the time. Then, of course, NetLogger, but that might be going a little bit too fast for him. What else is there to report? Back in hospital tomorrow morning. Something to look forward to. Third time this year. And fifth time in the last 3 months. So, really looking forward to it. There's some absolutely gorgeous nurses. It helps. It helps relieve all the pain. So, but I don't know what they're up to at the moment. It's some sort of procedure. I don't care. I just turn up. And in the mornings when I arrive, I get a cup of coffee and a slice of toast, which is well worth going to. Otherwise, not much else to report. Got a little bit of DXing. Nothing fantastic. I was on 6 meters a little bit earlier. But a lot of QSB, fading in and out. But that's my cheap antenna, probably. Anyway, so back to the boringly named Wednesday Night Net. Back to you, Bruce. 7-3. Take care. LX0WNN from M0ALL.
M0ALL from MX0WNN. Now, Alex, you should know by now, you don't get away with 1 over because I need to take the mic in the gap from over number 1. So, sorry to hear you go into hospital again tomorrow. But is this your equivalent of the biker's calf that you go to for your free? But you've worked out that you can do it free of charge by going in there, while Muggins here pays the bill. I've got to keep working and paying the taxes, you know, here, Alex, for your tea and coffee and toast. I bet you're going to tell me to give you jam next as well. Flipping Nora. And you'll be telling me it's 2 slices of toast, not just 1. My word, I know where my cash is going at my pay packet. Flipping heck. So yeah, sorry to hear you going in there. But yeah, you are the trendsetter. You are the trendsetter. QRZ, definitely good. M7 TSS, yes, I have to admit, I was well impressed. It's always nice to get new people on the net, particularly when they've not been licensed very long or they've been out of the hobby for a good while. Folks, I've never met Alex in person, but we seem to hit it off. But the problem is, Alex, we've got one issue here. Your call sign for the amazing WonderNet. That might start a bit of a brawl because obviously I'm laying some claim to it. You've got Graham laying a bit of claim to it, and then you've got Keith, M7BYD with his new HandNet, also want to lay a bit of claim to this one. So this could get a bit tasty. This could at this rate. Okay, 3 motorbikes. Oh, come on, Keith. Come on there, Alex. Only 3. You should have at least 1 for every day of the week. It's a bit like our other hobby. You can't have too many. It's a bit like radios and all these other good things. Come on. You gotta speculate to accumulate and all that other good stuff. Right. Okay. Right. I shall pass it back across to you, the Mancunian Hell's Angel over there. I don't know which part of Manchester you're in. The sprawling metropolis. I used to live in Levenshulme, the lovely Levenshulme. By the way, you're sounding great through GB7XF. Nick will be happy that it's sounding good, and I know you're happy whenever you're using a real radio in inverted commas. So glad we're keeping the spirits up there. Back to you one more time after some summary Mickey taking. M0ALL from MX0WNN, the host of the amazing but dull sounding Wednesday Night Net.
You do make me laugh, Bruce. M0ALL returning. I've had a rotten day today. I can give it a score in terms of cocodamol tablets, and I think I'll give it 6. Doesn't matter though. You got me thinking about. So I didn't think about the hospital as being a biker's cafe. But you remind me. I mean, I originally come from. Well, I come from Turriff in Scotland, which is close to Aberdeen. But I ended up as a young boy in Sevenoaks in Kent, and not far from there is the ACE, Alpha Charlie Echo, the Ace Cafe, which is an original biker's cafe that goes back well into the 1950s. And I used to go there quite often on my Nortons and my Triumphs and my BSAs. So yeah, I never thought about it. So in fact, I mean, the nurses know me now, and I always dress smartly. Well, ex-chartered accountant, I suppose. I don't bother with a tie though. But it's always smart trousers and shoes and shirts. But you got me thinking. I think I'll. I think not tomorrow though. I think I'll put all the motorbike gear on, and the helmets completely shatter their illusion. Anyway, let's think. What else is there? Graham made me laugh. I think it was on Friday or the Friday before. I'm not quite sure. About poor old Keith at M7BYD timing out. I mean, he's the king of timing out. I'll just take a pib. M0ALL returning. Yeah, poor old Keith. I mean, he's a great guy. But he is the king of timing out. Graham said he was going to give him a 3-minute sand glass. You know, one of those you can turn around. And it times at 3 minutes. But then I immediately thought, well, no, I've got a 1-hour glass here, which is probably more suitable for poor Keith. If you're listening, Keith, I apologise. Anyway, don't change the name because utterly brilliant, fantastic net is definitely Graham's. Actually thinking about it, 5 years for Graham. But over all those years, the amount of joy and happiness he's brought people all over the world. I've had terrific times laughing with Graham, and of course Queen of Scotland, Helen. Fantastic. It's, how can I put it? He's done us all. He's most certainly done me a service. I've had joy. I've had happiness. I've listened to sad stories. I've listened to real life stories. It's been a fantastic 5 years, and I know Graham's coming up a bit later on. In fact, right after me. I just realised I just looked at net longer. So I'll say 7-3 once again, Bruce. Take care, and you can call in GM0UUB, the utterly brilliant, fantastic net controller. 7-3 Bruce, take care, mate. MX0WNN from M0ALL.
M0ALL from MX0WNN. Ah, yes, well, Graham is coming up next. Now, what I'm thinking is, after 5 years of doing his net, I think you should lend Graham one of your motorbike helmets, because I'm trying to work out how many scuds to the back of the heat. Now, just to give you, just to translate for anybody that doesn't understand the Scottish vernacular, that's wallops over the head with the frying pan Graham has had from his loving XYL, that's MM7HQS, the Queen of Scotland, Graham's had over the years. Maybe Graham can tell us. But yeah, at this rate, Alex, I think we're going to have to recommend our Graham for, well, is it MB or is it a knighthood for services to Friday nights? I have to admit, going back to what Doug was saying at the very top of the net, about actually listening to people and just sort of like enjoying it. I don't always shout into Graham's net, but I always listen. Because I tell you what, it's a right good listen. Even if it's so busy I can't get in, or I'm busy doing something else with the family or whatever, I've usually got an AirPod or both in, listening, and it's just really fun. It's really good entertainment. So there we go. Right, so that's kind of answered the question. Right, well, Alex, I'm sorry that you've had a bit of a rough day and you're 6 on the Cocodamol scale, but you know, you shouldn't come on amateur radio when you've been taking illicit drugs there, Alex. We're going to have to... Well, I'll have to report you for that. So a retired chartered accountant riding his motorbike willy-nilly on Cocodamol, gobbling up tea and coffee and toast. Whatever next? Graham, go on, it's over to you. You see, the drugs have got to his head while he thinks that you've got the best net and not our Keith. There you go. Anyway, Alex, I'll break with you and we'll go across to Sir Graham, as he shall now be known. That's GM0UUB. Over to you, sir.
Well, good evening, Bruce and Alex and everybody else in the net. Absolutely fantastic to be here. And thanks so much for your comments. Alex, no, you put a smile on my face there. You really do. And of course, well, to answer your original question there, Bruce, I think Alex just kind of summed it up. What I love about nets, especially RAG2 nets, is just the catching up with people. You know, like my Friday night. It's my Friday out. It's my weekend. Instead of going to the pub, I meet all my pals on a Friday and we just catch up. And we hear about their critters, we hear about things, we hear about bereavement from time to time, we hear about births from time to time, and just the whole gamut of life and everything else. It's just all there. And people like to share, and it's wonderful, it's wonderful. And sometimes it gets technical, then of course I have to ask, is there anybody else in the net that can answer that question, because I inevitably cannot. Unlike yourself, and I was having a wee look at that SVX link, never heard of it before, so we had a look at the monitor, and yeah, and the download's available there, so really don't know what it does, but it looks very interesting, and I look forward to hearing more about that as time goes on. Talking about royalty, we're actually getting a visit. Let me just take a wee pip. GM0UUB continuing. Well, actually, King Charles is coming to Alloa tomorrow. Yes, he is coming here to central Scotland, and he's going to meet a charity and some businesses in the local area, and he's meet some people who have won some of the King's and the Queen's awards and different things. So that's kind of fun. So he'll be basically driving past right here. And he's meeting up in a building just down the road. I can see the roof of it from here. So I might go out and try and catch a glimpse. I'm not too sure. You'd have thought you might have popped in to say hello to Helen, Queen of Scotland, but we haven't had any phone call or anything there, so I assume he's not coming, so I've not bothered doing the hoovering. And what else? I think that's about it. But there's been so little publicity about it. It's just been on basically Facebook. We kind of caught this thing about King Charles coming to Alloa. So yeah, he'll be here about 10:30 or 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, and meeting with us. It's a kind of closed door thing, invitation only. I don't think he's really going out to meet any kind of crowd. We've not been told where we can go and stand and see him or anything. So, but I thought there'd been a little bit more. But there we go. It's kind of all in secret. But anyway, definitely on his way, apparently. Back tonight from GM0UUB.
GM0UUB from MX0WNN. Yeah, no problem at all there, Graham. And yeah, I know what you mean. It's like my Wednesday night. So to say, I can't always get to the radio club, but it's like being at the radio club or the pub or whatever you want to call it. By being on the net. So I totally get that, Graham. I have to admit. And yeah, you get to quote meet all these people. Some of whom you'll meet in the flesh, some you won't. But it's just nice and fun to yak along with people and one thing or another, and also to welcome new people in as well. SVX Link. Now, please, Chris, do not shoot me for saying this. Graham, to make it real simple, think of it a bit like another version of All-Star, in inverted commas. It's another mode, if that makes sense. It's an analog mode, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, you can create repeaters and gateways and sort of micronodes, etc. That's the sort of thing it is. So it's another technology or mode, let's call it. And I'm quite intrigued by it. I've heard stuff about it. I've talked to people about it, not in a super technical way. I'm guessing Gareth is beavering away. I know he was downloading copies of it, and he was going to be. Oh, you know what Gareth's like? He'll not get to sleep tonight for love. I'm expecting a message off him in a minute saying I'm busy. I've got to this point. So yes, I'm looking forward to it. Apparently the audio is supposed to be amazing. So yeah, it could be something interesting to try. Let's put it that way, something technical, and you can use Raspberry Pis, Graham, for it. So yeah, like all good amateur radio projects, Raspberry Pis are involved. Graham, go on, pass it over to you, and yeah, say hello to King Charles, and when he pops in to see the Queen, and yeah, over to you, GM0UB from MX0WNN.
Well, thank you, Bruce. Oh, hang on. There we go. I was looking at the wrong node. I was looking at the wrong node. I was thinking, I'm not transmitting, but of course I am. It's in another place. So there we go. Goodness me. You'd think this is my first time in the microphone. And no, it looks really interesting. So yeah, be looking forward to hearing more about it. Looking at the dashboard, it seems to be mainly digital talk groups are connected up in the dashboard, as well as some Echolink reflectors and repeaters and links there. So yeah, no, it's really, really interesting. Always good to hear new things and people working on things. I wish I was kind of had the skills and the ability to do all these things, but I do love to hear about them and try and understand them. So that's always good fun. And yes, and as far as 5 years of the IRN is concerned, it's been an absolute buzz, and I've enjoyed it so much. I was only once I was taken away from it, or 1.5 times. Or 1 3/4 maybe. The full day off we had was just over a year ago, and that was that guy just across the river from me, your special guest earlier, G0WUR, and his wife, Helen. And yes, so we ended up going out to a concert in Stirling on a Friday night, so there was absolutely no net then at all. And the other time, of course, was when Dave, GW8SZL, stepped in. I started it for about 20 minutes, so I didn't miss it altogether. But then he took over, and I managed to check into my own net, which was great fun. Only once I've managed to do that in 5 years. Yeah, apart from that, I've done every single Friday. And sometimes they got a flu bug, sometimes this, sometimes that, but that's okay. It's always good fun, and the people are very forgiving. That's always good as well. So what's that about? Around about 260. So, but they've all been absolutely amazing fun. They really have. So, but anyway, like I say, look, hearing more about this SVX Link as time goes on, and I think it was Chris there. So thanks, Chris, for doing this, and yeah, keep us updated with the progress. And it's been a long time since I did any soldering. I used to be quite good at it, but it's been many years. So anyway, back to Ned. Thanks for taking my check-in. It's been wonderful to be here. I love it. This is GM0UUB.
MX0 WNN returning. Yeah, no problem at all there, Graham, and well done for the 5 years as well. You know, that's some fair old achievement. I know, like you say, you've never missed one. So that's some achievement in its own right. And yeah, I'm looking at bits and pieces. People are sending me messages and all sorts. And yeah, I'm going to be doing some serious digesting of information after I finish the net about it. Right, Graham, I'm going to break with you, and I'm going to go to M7 Victor Mike, another new station on the net. Welcome, hello. I hope you're doing well. Don't have a name, but please feel free, and I hope you're enjoying what's going on here. So, M7 VVM, it's over to you from MX0 WNN. M7 VVM, Mike 7, Victor Mike. I hope I've got the call sign right. If it's something like that and I've got it wrong, please do tell me. Are you there, sir? From MX0 WNN. Okay, I'm guessing he had to step away, so if so, no problem, we'll come back later. So, let's step down one more, and we get 2E0 EVP, that's Martin. Good evening, Martin, I hope you're doing well. How's life treating you? And same question, what brings you to a net? What is it that you like about being part of a net as such? Is it technical content? Is it meeting other people? Listening along? I don't know, what is it? Go on, pass it over to you. Welcome, 2E0 EVP from MX0 WNN. MX0 WNN returning. No, it's not This Is Your Life. I'm not Esther Ranson. No, definitely not Esther Ranson. But I like that one. Chris has found us on there as well. Oh, good, I've just seen on the blue screen. So that's Chris G4NAB for SVX link. Not a problem. And yeah, by all means, yeah, it is nice to get your name out there. People know who you are. You know, particularly if you've got a sort of a network or technical stuff that you do. It's nice to get on there and be the voice of what you do. So yeah, okay. Mike, I'm going to pass it back to you. 2E0 EVP. Well, I'll just have a look down the blue screen and see who else is lurking around. From MX0 WNN. Over to you, Chris. Sorry, Martin. Sorry. MX0WN returning. Yeah, no problem at all. I appreciate there, Martin. There are other hobbies out there that people have and one thing or other, so no problem at all. But whenever you are free on a Wednesday, you are welcome, if that makes sense. Right, no problem. I shall let you go. And likewise, yes, Happy New Year to anybody that haven't wished it to already. At what point do you stop saying Happy New Year? There's another question. Anyway. Right, okay, yeah, I've been suitably chastised. It wasn't Esther Ransom. See, I'm just showing my age there. Yeah, so look on the blue screen. The blue screen, see, is a mine of all knowledge. It has more info on the blue screen than it does on Wikipedia. So, yeah, exactly. See, Graham's messaging me now. I know, folks, I got it wrong. Gordon's already told us. Graham, he's beat you to it. Right, okay, that does bring us to the bottom of the list before I get told off anymore. Is there anybody else out there that would like to check in to the rabble that is the Wednesday Night Net? If so, please come there, folks.
To Mike 0 Bravo Golf Kilo 2M0 BGK.
Net control, Kilo, Quebec 4, Zulu, India, Mike.
Okay, net control recognizes two stations in reverse order. KQ4ZIM. Nicholas out there in South Carolina, I believe that is. Good evening to you, or good afternoon to you in your time. And top of the list is, well, I mentioned Ravels. Oh my goodness. Having got told off, I've got to give you some stick for this, Gordon, because you just told me off about it not being Esther. So I'm getting it in there while I can, you see. 2M0 BGK, that's our friend Gordon from up there in Scotland. Good evening, Gordon. I hope you're doing well. Right, so, same question. Hope you're doing well, firstly. And, yeah, what brings you to a net? And, yeah, I suppose the other side topic of the night is any questions about SV Excellent, because we've got Chris on tonight by pure chance. Genuinely, it wasn't engineered, it just so happened. So there you go. Right, 2M0, BGK, Gordon. It's all yours. Take it away, sir.
Yeah, evening, Bruce. Everyone else on the net. Chastise you? No, I'm not going to chastise you. I'm sure it was Eamon Andrews anyway, and Michael Waspel. This is your life. What brings me to a net? Nosiness. Pure and simple. Absolute nosiness. See what's going on. And probably like, I think it was M7. No, it wasn't. It was 2E. Was it 2E? E0 EVP? I think he says as well. Just to get out there. Use the radio. That's what it's there for. Get on the air. I haven't done a lot of it the last wee while in the last couple of months. I'm enjoying it now. Before I was getting disheartened with radio. So now I'm enjoying it more. I was getting to the stage where I wasn't enjoying radio and doing the same mundane things and watching screens and everything like that. And I'm like, I've got this gear, I'm not using it. So I'd probably tie in with popping onto the net and having a blether. I think, Bruce, that's the be all end all. Have a blether, have a natter. What was it you called? What was it, that thing you used to do? I think you used to give awards for, I can't remember. You'll probably refresh my memory. I'm getting old, you know. I'm getting near 60. Another 2 years and I'll be 60. God. Hasn't time flown? 50 years of the Boomtown Rats already. God. And he still wants money for Africa. Round to you, Bruce.
2M0BGK from MX0WNN. Now, I think what you're thinking of was the worldwide waffle. And how many waffles could you have? Now, for folks in the US and Canada, we're not talking about the edible waffle variety. We're talking about particularly a northern sort of UK terminology of a waffle being basically somebody that wants to carry on talking for a while. So, yeah, the worldwide waffle was what... you're taking me back now there, Gordon. That is going back a while. Not quite as far as 60 years, though, mind, I hasten to add. But I have to admit, you've got a few on me, but not that many, shall we say. Yeah, no, it's nice to sort of... now, here's one. On the blue screen, the lurkers. You know, I like that because poor old Alex came a cropper on that one tonight because I saw him lurking. I thought, oh, I can see he's out there. He's listening. I'm going to have to do a bit of Mickey taking. And I tell you what, it is interesting running the net because you know who... shall we say, who the characters are, and who you can have a bit of banter with, shall we say. So it's all fun and all games, and I think it's nice just to get on and have a natter, isn't it, occasionally, Gordon? Yeah. Okay, back round to you for some more nattering. Or is it waffling? 2M0BGK from MX0WNN.
I was just letting the All-Star node give its time. You asked about SVX. I first looked at it about 3 years ago, maybe longer. Suggested it. It fell on deaf ear and was interested. And then now suddenly it's the best thing since haggis, neeps and tatties. So what can I say, Bruce? I did look at it, didn't do any more about it, did suggest it, and that was it. But it's now taken off twofold. Different people using it, so yeah, all good stuff. And probably there'll be 99 YouTube videos about it already as we speak, but yeah, I suppose if people want to play about that, then happy days. I've not been doing much, not been doing any experiment, playing with the All-Star node. Finally got my one from the Channel Islands. Haven't done any more about it. Still undecided whether I'm putting it to a PC or a micro PC or to a Pi. Other than that, nothing much to report. Just been helping the folks down in Wales, as you probably are aware of. Talk Group 870 seems to be quite popular. Lots of people buying radios, so which is good. It's good to see activity. Anyway, I won't hold it. I know you've got people waiting in the wings, and I think somebody says, was it haggis, neeps and tatties is about upon us. Yeah. And you also asked, when do we stop wishing Happy New Year? Oh, hang on. There's no one. I've done the timeout. You asked the question as well, when do we stop saying Happy New Year? Well, if the shops can get Easter eggs in the next day, I think really the next day we stop. Cheers, Bruce. Catch you later. Regards to everybody else on the net, and we'll speak to you soon. 2M0BGK.
BGK from MX0WN. I see on the dashboard. 2M0BGK radio listener. Congratulations. Welcome to the clan. So you're a purist. You are 1st of January only for the Happy New Year's. Right, okay. Yeah, and The good old YouTube videos, yeah. It's, yeah. Oh, that's a whole nother topic, though. That's a whole nother topic. Oh, my goodness. How many YouTube videos do you see? Yeah. We'll not go there tonight, because that's, as I say, that's a whole net's worth, or more, even. But yes. Yeah, I've seen you doing great gun stuff with the Welsh guys, and welcome to any Welsh people listening, whether you're part of the Gordon's gang in inverted commas. If not, check it out. And it's nice to just see people getting connected up and doing stuff, sort of in I'm not going to say little pockets, but in areas of the country, people coming together and that sort of friendship and fellowship and helping people out. So that's always good. I have to admit, I do enjoy that. It should be part of our hobby. It should be a mandatory thing to help somebody out. A bit like when you're at the car park. If everybody let one person out in front of them, life would be so much easier. So there you go. If we all do one nice thing for each other, it'll be helpful. Right. Okay. Gordon, I'm going to say 7-3 to you for the moment. That's all right. I'm going to bring in Kilo Quebec 4 Zulu India Mike, new station there, from over there in Somerville, South Carolina, according to QRZ. I could have got it totally wrong. But Nicholas, or is it Nick? Not sure. You tell us who you are, and welcome to the Wednesday Night Net, or I guess Wednesday afternoon in your case, from MX0WNN. Name is Bruce, Net Control.
Thank you, Bruce. This is KQ4ZIM. You are correct. Somerville, South Carolina. I traveled to Wisconsin where it is a balmy 5 degrees or negative 12 Celsius. I come to the net to overcome microphone fear. I just received my amateur extra license end of December. I'm learning every day, and I wholeheartedly agree with you, Bruce, that just listening to the net is invaluable. I hope you all have a fabulous evening. Thank you very much for allowing me to join KQ4ZIM. Back to net.
KQ4ZIM from MX0WNN. Hey, no problem at all, Nicholas. You are more than welcome. Everybody is welcome to either listen, take part, key the mic up. But yes, getting over that microphone shyness is absolutely fantastic. And yeah, I'm just pleased you have. And yeah, not a problem. Everybody's welcome. And yeah, it is genuinely nice when people like you come on and say nice things like you have. I think I can speak on behalf of all net controllers here and says, if new people or people that have been a bit shy come onto your net, it makes you feel a bit warm and fuzzy because it means that you've done something right and made it a welcoming place. Well, that's the way I take it. Nick, pass it back to you. KQ4ZIM from MX0WNN, who is feeling warm and fuzzy.
Roger that, Bruce. 100% agree with you. Thank you. KQ4ZIM, back to net.
Well, thank you so much, Nick. I do appreciate it. And yeah, obviously the MX0WNN is the call we use for the club call for the Wednesday Night Net. My personal call for anybody that hasn't registered it is M0, Mike 0, Uniform Kilo Bravo. All my details are good on QRZ. You can look us up and bits and pieces and see what I do and all that good stuff. But no problem at all. As I say, you're welcome to come to any of the nets or even just use the network whenever you fancy. It's open 24 hours a day. There's no half-day closing here, folks. So it's there all the time. Right, okay, I'll say 7-3 to you there, Nick, and yeah, don't be a stranger, as they say, and likewise everybody else. Right, that does bring us to the bottom of the list. So let's say, we'll make this the final call. Let's ask, is there anybody else that would like to join in? If so, you know what to do. Don't be shy. Please come now.
This is November 1, November Delta November, N1NDN, Bernie, mobile, in Queensbury, New York.
Okay. N1, NDN.
Papa Zulu, G3PZ listening.
Okay, right, got two there. We got G3PZ, got you at the bottom, and got N1, NDN, Bernie over there in New York. Welcome to you, sir. Right, okay. Bernie, hope you're doing well. This is Bruce, M0UKB, but we use the club call of MX0 Wednesday Night Net, WN, for the net. So we're simply asking people, what makes you come to a net? Is there anything in particular? How did you find us? Did you stumble upon us? Or is there something you particularly look for? So over to you, N1, NDN from MX0, WNN.
Well, for this particular net, I stumbled across you. I have my All-Star node connected to the network 24 hours a day, but for whatever reason, I have not heard this particular net. I think there's another one earlier in the afternoon. So, well, hello. And as being a net control, I find that people get on the net just to see what everybody else is up to. In fact, we have locally a Thursday night rag chew net, and then on Wednesday night we have a tech net, where we make ourselves available for technical questions for new hams. Let me roll this. I have a 1-minute timer. So, and as net control, I've had ideas where, you know, I like nets that ask a question, and that way it gives people a reason to talk about something. And congratulations to the other station down there in South Carolina. I think it was in South Carolina. Upgrading to extra and getting over your mic fight. So super important. I highly encourage anybody to participate in Winter Field Day. That's coming up in a few weeks. The last weekend in January. I think it's a worldwide event, and that's a good way to get over your mic fight too. It's one of my favorite events. Let me turn it back to Net Control and say good afternoon / evening from northern New York State. 27 degrees Fahrenheit here.
MX0WNN returning. Well, thank you, Bernie, first of all, for being connected to the network. I do appreciate it. And if there is anything we can do to help with your nets, and I'm hoping that we manage to maybe put them across the network as well to maybe help you out. We do like to try and assist people. So, yeah, feel free. If there's nothing on, crack on. And yeah, as you said to the other station, upgrading to extra. Yep, well done. It's always nice having people on, and yeah, getting out there. Winter Field Day. We don't really have Field Day and Winter Field Day in the UK, but I like being out and about, going portable and special event stations and things like that. So they're always a big hit with me. It's nice to get out and about, shall we say? Right. Going to pass it back to you. That's N1 NDN. Bernie, over to you.
N1NDN Mobile. Okay, I thought Field Day and Winter Field Day were a thing over in the UK. Well, maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe it's a US thing and we just work all you guys. I'm not sure. But it's the last weekend in January for Winter Field Day, and it's the same drill as Summer Field Day. It's all about portable operation, and if you're in these climates, it can be a little extreme. I've had some pretty interesting adventures with temperature well below zero and the wind cranking, and we're outside trying to work a satellite. So it's interesting. It's a much different dynamic than summer field day, and I thoroughly enjoy it. It shows our ability to set up portable in extreme conditions, at least up in this area. So would encourage anybody to participate, and for those of you that don't have winter field day, look for us. And I timed out. Okay, back to net. N1NDN.
N1NDN from NX0WNN. Now, what you've got to remember, though, Bernie, is in the UK, every day is like winter. So every day is extreme. But no, field day isn't really a UK thing. I wish it was. Yeah, you're quite right. You just work hard all the time when it's field day. No, I'd actually quite like it to be a thing. Maybe we'll have to do something. You've got me a thinking. Right, okay, well maybe come back to that at some other juncture. But I like being portable, and I know there's a lot of other people on here that like being portable, so, okay, yeah, collective brains may be going into overdrive at this point. Right. See what happens when you go on the net. Oh my goodness. Well, hey, I hope you have a great winter field day when it comes, and I hope we hear more from you as well there, Bernie. Anyway, you take care, 7-3 to you, and I'm going to go to the final station of the night, if that's all right. That's going to be G3 Papa Echo Zulu, which I believe is John. Good evening, John. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to the Wednesday Night Net. It's over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Bernie. G3PEZ returning. Yeah, I'm on a net every morning, 8:30 on, I've got one running on Zello, G1YPQ network. You set it up 7 channels, and we're on channel 3, 8:30 every morning, 365 days a year. I didn't get on this morning, I was too busy, but usually I listen in. I've been listening to that net for a long time before I actually joined in. It's a case of being a bit microphone shy instead of the old rubber stamp or so. So I just stumbled upon you tonight. I had a look at the what is it? The Zello? No, sorry, the Peanut dashboard. Saw you and was curious, and I heard you break for a call, so I just called in to say hello. QTH is actually on the Wirral Peninsula, little town called Moulton. I'm on the usual. Isn't it terrible when I come on air? I get brain dead. You can look me up anyway on the usual one. Terrible, isn't it, when you can't remember the name of it? I'm getting on a bit in age. I'm touching 80 this year, but I've been licensed since 61. In those days, you started off as a lad, with the old gas soldering in the kitchen. Your mum's waiting to cook the dinner, and you're too busy to let her in, soldering your way, making your radios. And then from there it just grew, and found out my cousin was into radio, and went over to see him, and he had his shed going. He had all kinds of gear in there, Second World War radios, repairing them and that, and they just got hooked on it, as you do. So it's nice to meet you, Bernie, on your net tonight, and as I say, I'm a bit mic shy, so back to you. M0. Anyway, back to the net controller from G3PZ.
G3PZ from MX0 WNN. Hey, no problem at all about me mic shy and forgetting stuff. I do it all the time. and I'm supposed to be on controlling the net, so don't worry. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. No, G1YPQ, yeah, I know that. I know the network radios channels. That's I started on there before I became licensed, and yeah, no, really good people, really good people, Carl, etc. And it's nice to get on there and just have a natter. You know, I think a lot of people have sort of said that it's nice to just have that sort of sense of community, for want of a better description. You know, and you know who people are just from the voice, etc. And yeah, I don't know, it's a bit different, you know, and it gives you a bit of, for me, I find it gives you a bit of a break. You had a busy day at work or with a family or whatever it might be, doing something, you think, I can just chill out for a little bit. I can just relax. It's my Wednesday night of relaxation. So yeah. Right, okay, I'll pass it back round to you. You are the final caller, John, so I'm going to pass it back to you, and before we shut this down, it's been, I've really enjoyed it. So, G3PEZ, for any final thoughts from NX0WNN.
NX0WYN from G3PZ. Yeah, okay, QRZ.com, isn't it? Terrible, isn't it? I'm using a little Windows 10 tablet here. I took it out last night, charged it up. It hasn't been used for a long time. I have to update Windows and everything, the usual circus and pantomime, you know, downloading and waiting for it to do its thing and settle down now. So some of my apps are working okay, so that's the main thing. I've got Echo Link on here and Zello and Peanut. That's all I've got at the moment. I only work the excuse me. I only work the digital modes these days, Bernie. A few hand portables there, DMR MD380. I'm struggling to get back on Brandmeister with my hotspot. I've actually got into Brandmaster now. I can actually get on it, but my radio doesn't transmit for some reason. It doesn't recognise it. I'm transmitting and it doesn't. It used to work fine, you know. But when you leave things for a year or so and you come back to them, you suddenly find everything's changed, and you just start from scratch again. It's very frustrating sometimes. Another thing I've got here which isn't working is a DV3K dongle for D-Star. Usually you plug it into your PC and use Blue DV for app and away you go, but something's gone wrong with it and it's not even recognised now, so I may have to send that back to the people who bought it from to see if they can do something with it. So it's another disappointment. Sometimes I feel like throwing everything in the bin and buying some new gear, you know, and starting again. Anyway, there you go. Yeah, G1YPQ, it's a good output. He's created some good channels. Hello, very clear audio. I think it's all based in Houston, isn't it? The servers are in Houston. Anyway, I'll say 73, so I'll let you close down your net, Bernie. Thank you very much for letting me in. And I'll certainly listen out for you again next time on Wednesday night. 73 from this end. G3PZ now sounding clear with the net and passing it back to network controller. Bye for now. If I can find the PTT, hang on a minute, here we go.
MX0WN returning. Yeah, no problem at all. Hey, it's always fun to have people on, and yeah, I'm glad you found it. And like you said, when you haven't played with something for a while, you have to kind of refresh yourself as to how it works. That's half the fun. You can come back to an old toy and make it a new toy, in inverted commas. So hey, no problem at all. And an absolute pleasure to have you on. Likewise, everybody else. It's been a real nice mix tonight, I have to admit. We've had the usual familiar faces. We've had some people that haven't been on for a bit. We've had people that are brand new and fresh. People that are literally brand new and fresh with new licenses. So yeah, a complete mix tonight and really nice. New technology. So thanks, Chris, for all your stuff about SVX Link. And yeah, Right, okay, at this point I will say thank you to everybody. I will thank to all those who connected in. Thank you. All those that keyed up the mic and gave us a net. All the networks, etc., repeaters, gateways, hubs, the whole shebang. I've run down a few of them. Apologies if I miss any. Obviously the IRN who are connected 24/7. The Worldwide Radju Amateur Radio Network, Fireside, TV Scotland Phoenix, the Auction Network. Who else we got there? I can see connected in. We've got CQ North. We've got Northumberland County Scouts. Yeah, to name it but a few. There will be some I've probably forgotten, and I apologise in advance. It's nothing personal. Yeah, so yeah, we've got Ansel, etc. in there as well. So yeah, a whole raft of people. So thank you very much. You know, it really does help as a unique and special blend. Right, I shall at this point hang up the club call of MX0WNN for one more week, and I shall now use my own personal call of Mike 0 Uniform Kilo Bravo. That's M0 UKB, and all details are good on QRZ. So thank you very much, folks. Do appreciate it. You take care, and we shall be back next week, 7:30 in the evening, UK time. Translate that to wherever you happen to be in the world, and we'll have another matter. So, okay, take care, folks. 7-3. As I say, this has been M0 UKB. Be safe, have fun, and enjoy the hobby. Take care. 7-3, folks. Oh, and North Wales Digital Radio Network has also been connected. So thank you, folks. So